Sometimes you get a shoe that just works for you. Hello everybody and welcome to FORDY Runs. My name is Chris Ford and I'm a qualified running coach who loves to review running shoes here on YouTube, and today we're going to be talking about a shoe that just works for me. Right guys, so today we're going to be talking about the Hyperion Max 2 from Brooks. I'm going to be telling you things I like, things I don't like about this shoe. I'm also going to give you the stats and features, then we're going to wrap it up at the end and I'm going to tell you why I really like this shoe. Right, so before we get into this video, several of you are going to go, oh, he only likes the shoe because they've got a thing with Brooks. Which is not the case, but I will clarify what's going on with Brooks and my relationship. So if you didn't know, Brooks is partnered with FORDY Runs Running Club, which is a separate sort of thing, okay? I'm on the committee of that club, but that's it. My role there is as coach, right? Brooks are a partner of the club, yeah? It's a non-financial agreement, and the stuff that I do on this YouTube channel is not connected in any shape or form to what the club does, okay? So let's just put that out there as a disclaimer at the front end before all you haters, you keyboard warriors go in and go, I only like to shoot because he's doing it, Brooks. All right? Okay, so with that out of the way, let's crack on. Right, so if you follow this YouTube channel, and please do subscribe before you leave me today, you will know, because you probably watched some of the live streams, that there's sort of 2 or 3 shoes that I've really been waiting for this year. And I've been talking about this shoe since last year, because I was lucky enough to be given a sort of sneak peek into the shoes that are going to be coming out from Brooks. And this was the one shoe that I actually wanted to take home with me. It just stood out to me on the sort of peg. And I thought, you know what? Brooks is changing the game. Now, why was I interested in it? Firstly, I think it looked banging. Secondly, I think this is a massive change for Brooks in terms of the way they're going about making shoes, the faster shoes. It's got a plate in the shoe. It's got the foam in here that's a little bit more lively and all that kind of thing. And more important than anything else, it's like a super trainer, which I think is the first sort of super trainer that they've done. And that's why it caught my attention. Now look, I've been very open about how, you know, a couple of years ago I was very, very critical of the way Brooks shoes sort of looked and felt. But I've also, over the last year or so, been very, very sort of, well, I've given Brooks praise, because if you look, right, a couple of years ago at like the Ghost 12, and then compare it to this, it's like night and day. So you have to give Brooks some praise, or a lot of praise, in my view, because of the way they're changing as a company and the way they're going about themselves with some of these shoes now. Just compare this to like the Ghost 12. Okay, so look, let's move on to the stats and features. Let's tell you why I'm so excited about this shoe and what's going on here, and then we'll move into the likes and dislikes. Okay, so this shoe is scheduled for an August release here in the UK. I think it's already out in the US. It's £160, but that's not confirmed. It's $180 in the US on their website. It's a training and race day shoe. We've gained 4mm in the heel and 6mm under the forefoot versus the previous version. So we've now got just over 36mm in the heel and 30.25 in the forefoot. So that's a 6mm drop for all you mathematicians. We've got the DNA Flash V2 foam. We've got the Speed Volt plate. We've got rocker geometry. We've got this nice mesh upper. It's a very wide platform, which is good, and I'll come on to that. We've got reasonable rubber coverage on the outsole, and that's probably about that. Okay, right, so looking over the shoe, firstly it's got Brooks written down here, which I think is awesome. And they've also done that on the Hyperion 2 as well. You've got this lovely Achilles flick away. You've got then a semi-gusseted tongue here. You've got these really nice laces that I wish Adidas would do, because they lock down, look, they're sort of bobbly. Come on camera. But they're all bobbly and you can really tie them down real nice. The mesh upper is just gorgeous. And then I say you've got a decent rubber coverage on the outsole there. There's the Speed Volt, so it's basically a plastic plate running through the shoe to help you with propulsion, which works very well with the DNA Flash foam that's in here. This is the Flash V2. So it's reasonably soft, but I'll come on to the ride in just a bit. Fits true to size, 279 grams, 9.85 ounces, so it's well in that sort of super trainer range that they are at the moment. You can see that sort of high toe spring there, which helps with the geometry of the shoe. You've got that real rocker feeling to it. Look how wide that toe box is. Look at it, it's a thing of beauty. It's really a nice fit. And that's kind of it in terms of the design and what's going on. You've got the sidewalls that are built up there, which I think gives you some stability. You sort of sit within them, which is kind of cool. So anybody who has mild pronation will get on all right with this shoe. And yeah, that's probably about it. So let's move on to the things I like and things I don't like. And there's quite a lot of things that I like. Okay, right, so firstly, let's talk about the ride, because the ride is one of the things I like. And the reason I like it is because it's not overly soft. What you've got here is a very nice blend of that not being too hard but not being too soft. I kind of like that. And the thing is, with this DNA Flash midsole, it does come to you as well, so it does soften up over time. I like something that is a little bit firmer in my super trainers, which is why I like the Boston 12. I mean, this is close to sort of the Asics Magic Speed 4 in terms of feeling, I would say, because that's quite a firm shoe as well with the Flight Foam Blast Plus. But there's something about this foam that just works for me. I think it works because it's that wider platform as well, and it's sort of got that inherent stability in it. So again, it sort of irons out some of the pronation that I do have. I love the upper on the shoe. I just think it's unbelievable. It really is a work of art. I really like the fit. It just fits my foot shape perfectly. I love the laces. I like the racing tongue. I like the comfort around the heel. It's not over the top. I'm not sure if I like the Speed Volt plate or not, but all I can say is that at 7.5 minute miles in the shoe, it feels really easy in terms of, well, if that can feel easy. But my point is that it feels like the shoe's helping you. It feels propulsive. It just likes, to me, it likes goal pace. And I'll come on to that point in just a bit. But in terms of range of paces, I really like the fact that I can do a range of paces in the shoe. That's one of the key likes for me in the shoe. Okay, so let's get on to dislikes, because I want to wrap it up at the end, because there's a really big thing here with this shoe that I do want to discuss with you. So dislikes is the outsole. It's not the grippiest thing in the world. It's a little bit, well, I used the word the other day in another video, sketchy in the rain. It's all right. It's not brilliant, but it's okay, all right? It hangs on. I think the outsole actually in the Hyperion 2 is a little bit better, but fine, whatever. It's okay, and it will last you for a long time because you've got a decent amount of coverage, so that's all good. And that's about the only dislike I've got. Okay, so what I was referring to in goal pace, and this is where I want to go with this shoe, is that for me, in marathon training mode, which is what I'm in, this might sound crazy for a lot of you, but I just am reaching for this instead of the Super Blast, which is nuts, because the Super Blast is the king. But honestly, I don't know, there's something about this shoe, and I think it's very much down to personal choice. You know, the way you work as a runner, your biomechanics, your foot strike, your foot shape, and everything in terms of the composite of the foam and everything. There's just something about this shoe that works really well for me. I feel confident in it. I know I can run goal pace in it, so that's like 8 minute miles for me, but I can run that really, you know, well in this shoe. I feel like I can do multiple paces in the shoe. I can, if I want to, you know, do 6 miles in the shoe at goal pace, or I can go and do, you know, 15, 16 miles in the shoe and still feel, you know, pretty refreshed in it. And that's the thing, and I don't know why, but I'm reaching for this more than the Super Blast at the moment, which is a bit nuts really, because you guys know how much I love the Super Blast. But that's the honest truth. I just find myself pulling this out instead of the Super Blast at the moment. Now, that's not to take anything away from the Super Blast, okay? We know that shoe is awesome. But for me, this is doing, well, I don't know, the job of that, and maybe some of the other work that you wouldn't necessarily do in the Super Blast. So maybe some of those tempo runs and workouts like that. That's where this shoe adds that sort of extra versatility into. But yes, look, I can't give this shoe enough praise. I think this is the shoe to buy if you're looking for a super trainer at the moment, which is a bold statement, because if you can't get on with the Boston 12 because the energy rods you feel emanate, you know, hurt the underneath of your foot, and you don't like the Speed 4 because the Power Run PB is just not for you, or the speed roll's too aggressive, maybe the Magic Speed 4 is just, I don't know, a little bit too firm, and you're not being like, I know, made to feel awesome because there's not enough Flight Foam Turbo in the shoe. Maybe the Puma Deviate Nitro 3 is not wide enough for you. Whatever the reason, I think this shoe sort of wraps everything from all the super trainers that are currently out there into one for me. And that's why I'm such a big fan of it. I honestly think right now, this is my favorite shoe, which is a big claim. And again, it's got nothing to do with the fact that we are linked to Brooks. I just really like it, people. And I say, it was love at first sight. You can ask Hayden because he was there with me at the time. I just literally went up. I tried to take the thing out with me. It's just, I don't know. Something aesthetically works for me here. Again, the foot shape, more importantly, the upper, the feel of the foam, which has softened up, by the way, in the miles that I've done in the shoe. The feel of it in the comfort, but the lockdown as well. These laces are superb in this shoe. Absolutely superb. So look, I challenge you, you know, try the shoe. Tell me what you think. If you think it's a bad shoe, fine. But I'd be really interested because I know Brooks is not for a lot of people. I went on about it for years, but honestly, this shoe is a transforming shoe for Brooks because it really does put them back into the mix. You don't need to, you know, think about them just as the Ghost or the Glycerin. This is a serious training shoe, into race day shoe. You could quite easily wear this into a half marathon and even into a marathon if it really worked for you. This is an exciting shoe from Brooks and this is an exciting direction in which they're going. But right now, like I said to you, I think this is the one shoe that if you said to me, FORDY, you've got to go and run, I don't know, 15 miles. This is the shoe I take. If you said to me, FORDY, you've got to go and do 6 mile, you know, tempo run, I'd probably take this if I had to take any of them. It is that versatile shoe that I have at the moment that's doing it all for me. It's yeah, it's just a thing of beauty. I can't get over how good it looks. Okay, right, I've gone on enough about it. I think you understand I like the shoe. But yes, my sort of challenge to you is go out and try this, people. Don't be put off because it's a Brooks. And that's coming from me. This is a really good shoe. I don't know where they came from with this, because the Hyperion Max, the first version, was a calf killer. But this thing, it is firm, okay, compared to some of the other super trainers that are out there. But for me, I like that. There's enough stack here that works with me. It's got a 6mm drop, okay, that's not going to work for everybody, but this is a very competent shoe. The foam does come to you as well, so immediately, you know, you put them on and go, oh, that's a bit firm compared to something else that's out there. It will come to you, but it's wide, it's inherently stable. You've got the plate in there to help you with that propulsion. It can do multiple different paces. It can do multiple different distances. So definitely go out and try the Brooks Hyperion Max version 2. Okay guys, that's it. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Please do subscribe before you leave me today, and I'll catch you all later.